What is going on, all you Pokemon collecting maniacs out there? This is Ryan, the PikaPikaPaPa, and today we're going to be doing one of my favorite video series that we have on this channel. On every single Sunday, come rain or shine, we talk about a data set that TCGPlayer sends directly to us. And what that data set is it is the cards on their website that have been moving with the highest velocity over the last week. And one of the reasons I have fallen so deeply in love with this video series and that data set is because it is so insightful. We almost always have cards on this list that nobody is talking about, nobody's paying attention to, but even though it's not at the top of, your favorite PokeTubers list of things to discuss and things to, pontificate on, it is moving with a high velocity on TCGPlayer. And at the end of the day, that's really all that matters, right? That is the market, because the volume of things that sell and get traded on TCGPlayer is just through the roof. So whenever they give us a peek behind the curtains and tell us what's going on, I find it incredibly valuable. And again, we've learned so many lessons to this video series. I just have a ton of fun with it. Now, with that being said, there's going to be very little surprises on the video today, okay? No sage wisdom, no insider secrets. Like, as you can tell from the graphic that's on here, we're going to be talking about a lot of evolutions. And evolutions, they have been incredibly hot ever since the Moonbreon started to pop off. I mean, that was kind of like the catalyst, and evolutions as a whole have been doing really, really strong. And now guess what? Now we have Prismatic Evolutions, which is coming on January 17th, that every single product I can think of is sold out. It doesn't matter what it is. I swear to goodness, it's out of control. It doesn't matter if it's a poster box, a binder box, elite trainer box. It doesn't matter. They're all sold out. And what that means, I don't even know what that means. I mean, obviously it means that these products are going to be extremely expensive when they come out. Does it mean that Pokemon Company International is going to print more product? Does it mean that they're just going to raise their hands and be like, you know what, the production was the production. Good luck everybody, fight it to the end. See who gets the products. I don't know what that means, but I will tell you what we are seeing is that a lot of these evolution cards and a lot of these evolution products are going through the roof right now. So that is what happens from time to time. When we see a new product line or a new subset of cards come out, a lot of the old ones really start to kind of fly on the coattails of that and benefit from the halo effect and start to take off in price. So we're going to be talking about a lot of that today. We're going to be having a ton of fun. I can't wait to take you on this evolution journey. And if you get into this video and you are having fun and you haven't hit the subscribe button yet, I got a small channel, so I got to ask. I would appreciate it if you did so. If you like what you see, give us a thumbs up. And if you got questions or comments, drop them down below. Now, we all know that Prismatic Evolutions is coming up, but guess what? We don't have to wait to see these cards because Terastal Festival has already dropped. And it is really cool to see how the prices are moving for these evolution cards in Terastal Festival, because back in the day we used to see a very similar product or a pattern in English and in Japanese. I used to call it the Pokemon pop and flop, right? The cards would be really high pre-release, the sets would come out, people would rip them, and as they were ripped, those cards would start to hit the market and supply would meet demand and price would come down. I called it the Pokemon pop and flop, right? Well, in these late series Scarlet and Violet sets, we're seeing a whole less flop and a whole lot more pop, right? Think about the Latias, think about Pikachu from Surging Sparks. Both of them are up over their pre-release trading prices. And then think about, even the Greninja, right? The Greninja is way up over pre-release price. It's just very, very interesting to me. However, the Japanese market has pretty much remained steady to that pattern. However, and these cards are coming down, don't get me wrong, these cards are coming down, but they're not dropping with the same velocity that I usually see on the Japanese side, which again is a good thing. It just shows you that it doesn't matter what language you're in. People are going to absolutely lose their minds when these cards come out here in the US, because they're already doing it over there in Japan. And I love seeing that this Umbreon card is still over $300. That $300 threshold is a big, it's like a mental barometer for me. If this card can stay over $300 in Japanese, who knows? It may be a $500, $600, $700 card here in the English variant once that comes out. So it's just going to be absolutely wild to watch. But obviously this is why some of these cards are going crazy, so we had to highlight that before we even got into the list. Now, the first card on here, the Sylveon V. Now, we all know Evolving Skies is filled with some amazing VMAX alt arts, and the Vs were always trailing just a little bit. Now, last week's video highlighted the Umbreon V alt art from Evolving Skies. This week, the Sylveon V ends up on the list. And again, as those VMAXs start to get higher and higher in price, some people are going to get priced out of that. They're not going to be able to spend $250, $300, $350 on the VMAX, but they still want a really cool evolution alt art from Evolving Skies. So what are they going to do? They're going to pivot to some of these V variants, and this Sylveon card is nothing to shake a fist at. The other thing that's really cool about the V versus the VMAX, the V gem rates are substantially lower than VMAX. Most of those VMAX gem rates, which is just an equation, right? The total that are sent to PSA that come back in PSA 10s, there's a percentage of that, right? Those are in the high 60s, low 70s. These V variants tend to be much lower, more like in the 50% range. So again, that does help drive some scarcity in the PSA 10 population, which can at times help drive some price in the raw space as well. So this card, as you can see, not a lot of price movement over the last couple months, but then really over the last 3 or 4 weeks, this one has started to pop off. Now it is starting to level off right there at the $98 mark, so it's starting to hit a little bit of a resistance at the $100. But if it does pop up over the $100 mark, I don't know where the next resistance point could be. You could see this card go on a nice little run here for a bit. So something to keep an eye on. Now, as I said, lots of VMAX alt arts from Evolving Skies. This Glaceon is hands down one of my favorite. Obviously, the Moonbreon's #1 because it's everybody's and mine as well, but this is a very close second to me. I even like it more than the Leafeon, even though the Leafeon's more expensive. I love it. You got Pikachu there in the foreground. It's just a very, very cool card. But again, you see that over the last couple months, not a lot of price movement. We're starting to see that growth now. You see it actually dipped quite a bit about 2 months ago, right? It was all the way down in like the $205, $210 range. And then once it hit that point, the market was like, no way, Jose, is this a $200 card? And it's been working its way up ever since, coming in right at $260 now. So again, these are going to be really cool to keep an eye on once Prismatic Evolutions comes out. And the next one, as I said, listen, not my favorite of the lineup, but clearly it's the market's favorite because it's almost at $300 right now, is this Leafeon VMAX. But again, look at that price pattern. You can see it was relatively flat for a long time up until the last couple weeks, really the last 3 or 4 weeks is when we've seen a lot of this price appreciation happen. So for me, I'm always trying to take lessons. I'm always trying to learn. And I think this is a really cool takeaway. You know, there will be another set that will feature some cards in the past. And, you know, it's an awesome opportunity to say, hey, listen, if there's, I don't know, we've talked about Mega Evolutions coming, and we've seen that all the cards in the XY era have done really well over the course of 2024. Matter of fact, if you haven't seen one of my State of the Hobby videos and you haven't seen the price graph of the top 20 singles cards for all of the XY era, it is insane. Every single month, the value of the top 20 singles cards from every single XY set that has a booster box has increased. Not an exact, every single month, hard stop. It is just an incredible piece of data. Matter of fact, when I do my year-end review here in a week or so, you'll be able to see it. It's just been an incredible year for XY. And so you see that at times. You see when a new series comes out that kind of highlights some of the old, you'll see that there's this halo effect where the older cards start to grow in price as well. And we've been seeing that, obviously. So again, just another really cool takeaway. You know, Team Rocket Returns is on the schedule, right? When that one comes out, does that mean we're going to see a lot of the older Team Rocket cards start to go up in value? Who knows? You have to keep an eye on it, but certainly some cool lessons from Prismatic Evolutions. And then we have to have one non-evolution card on the list, and this is the Milotic right here from Surging Sparks. Now, this one was actually on the Movers and Shakers list about 2 or 3 weeks ago. Can't exactly remember, but it wasn't that long ago. You see it had that really aggressive spike up in price, and we said approach it with a bit of trepidation. It could have just been a little bit of the market fury around everything Surging Sparks, which is why we saw it spike up like that, and now it's starting to work its way back down. Love the artwork, love the card. I think this is an absolute stunner. You know, for me personally, I always say, hey, is there going to be a market for this card 5, 10, 15 years down the road? And I'm not saying that people won't want it, but I don't know if it's going to be a $150 card way down there. When I think about the true investors and collectors who are going to be there, I don't know if Milotic is going to be at the top of their chase list, but we'll just have to wait and see. So it will be interesting to see. No matter what, guess what? Ever since the set came out, the price on this is up 42%. Again, we talked about the Pokemon pop and flop. Not a lot of flop, whole lot of pop in this card. We'll have to see if it breaks below those pre-market or the pre-release numbers here relatively soon. So that's it. That's the end of the video. Those are the cards that we're talking about this week. Obviously, so much excitement in store. I cannot wait to continue to do this video series. I can't wait to see what's featured on it moving forward. And I certainly can't wait for Prismatic Evolutions. I'm going to be talking about it nonstop until it comes out. I hope you guys have an awesome rest of your Sunday. I appreciate you watching, and I will talk to you soon. Thanks, everybody. Bye.